Mr. Speaker, sir, I speak in support of this bill. Singapore has had its share of cybersecurity breaches these past few years. We've heard in this House about the attacks on MINDEF as well as of our two major universities, the NUS and NTU. While any cyber attack is of concern, to me what is most worrying is that the attacks, the likes of those on the Singapore universities last year, were, as the authorities have depicted, carefully orchestrated and specifically targeted. It was not the work of casual hackers. Mr. Speaker, sir, so far Singapore has been spared from, at least from what we know publicly, serious breaches that could undermine trust and confidence in our financial systems and national security. But for how long? We were just lucky, said Mr. David Koh, CEO of the CSA, to explain why Singapore escaped the brunt of global malware attacks like the WannaCry ransomware attack. According to Mr. Koh, had these attackers targeted Singapore specifically, the consequences could have been quite disastrous. This is why this bill is so important. In a world where nation-state actors are becoming bolder in their cross-border activities, we must ensure that our national security, including cyber defense, can withstand these cyber attacks by enemies we cannot see. Cyber defense has to be a whole-of-country approach. It is not just the government's responsibility. It is the responsibility of every single person in this community, from the homeowner to the business leader. Singapore is one of Asia's major technology hubs. We are very highly connected and, as a result, very vulnerable to cybercrime. Our smart nation aspirations will bring many benefits, but also many vulnerabilities if we are not vigilant and prepared. In a recent newsletter, cybertech company Apvera put Singapore at the top of the list of countries from which cybertechs could be launched. Just to clarify, this does not mean that Singaporeans are becoming hackers, but rather we have become the #1 potential launchpad for cybersecurity attacks because of our location, digitalization, IT savviness as a people, and the increasing number of cloud-based and virtual servers. Beyond the provisions of this bill, Mr. Speaker, public education has to be enhanced and ramped up. Last year, the CSA commissioned a survey to find out about Singaporean attitudes towards cybersecurity and cyber hygiene. Here are some findings. 1 in 3 respondents did not manage their passwords securely. We store them on our computers and we write them down. We also use the same passwords for multiple accounts, for work and personal accounts. 1 in 3 respondents did not enable their two-factor authentication. Despite widespread use of cloud storage, mobile and other storage devices, almost half of the respondents did not conduct virus scans on their devices and files. More than 6 in 10 respondents connected to open, non-password protected Wi-Fi networks in public places. Practices such as these pose a substantial risk to the security of their personal information and ultimately the cyber communities they are part of. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to commend the CSA for launching the Live Savvy with Cybersecurity campaign last year, where people from all walks of life learned about cybersecurity threats and cybersecurity hygiene. I would strongly encourage the government to make these roadshows and campaigns a part of school curriculums, right from the first time children use computers in schools. Grassroots clubs and community centers should use these campaigns to reach out to the elderly too. Businesses should also play their part in bolstering their cybersecurity defense. Too often, CEOs are happy to invest in IT systems only when it adds to their bottom line. Few realize until it's too late that IT security will actually protect this bottom line. According to a commentary on channelnewsasia.com last December, the cost of security failure because of cybercrime is projected to grow to over US $2 trillion globally in 2018. Mr. Speaker, sir, the government can also do more. Last month, in its review of the Auditor General's report for FY 2016 and 2017, the Parliament Public Accounts Committee cited recurring weaknesses in IT controls as a major weakness. Some of the lapses pointed out by the committee included user accounts not being properly removed when required, and staff given access to accounts and data that they should not have access to. What is alarming is that these weaknesses and lapses were pointed out in the past by the Auditor General, and they were still recurring. Though the ministries concerned have made arrangements to ensure that such lapses do not happen again, this is yet another timely reminder that cybersecurity should not be taken lightly. All you need is just one lapse to bring down the entire system. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me conclude my speech by reaffirming my very strong support for the bill. We cannot take our security for granted. And in today's digital world, cybersecurity is as important, if not more important, than military security, as the enemy is invisible and can strike anytime and anywhere. Thank you.